Have you ever experienced a sudden bitter taste in your mouth or noticed someone subtly pulling away as you spoke? Anyone's worst social nightmare is to exude an unbearable odor without even realizing it, destroying their reputation and self-esteem in seconds. Like this right now to ensure you don't miss any of these vital tips, and let's find out if you are in danger. Number 1. Smelly white balls in the throat. We begin with one of the most silent and foul villains that can inhabit your throat, tonsil stones, tonsilloliths. These small white or yellowish balls are nothing more than a putrid accumulation of food debris, mucus, and bacteria that calcify in the crypts of your tonsils. When you cough or sneeze and one of these spheres is expelled, the smell is indescribably bad, similar to sewage or concentrated sulfur. Having this trapped in your throat guarantees that with every word spoken, you are launching an odor of decomposition directly into the face of whoever is listening. Number 2. Coated tongue. If you stick your tongue out right now and notice a white, yellow, or even brown layer covering the natural pink, you have a coated tongue. This thick crust is a true biological carpet formed by dead cells, bacteria, and food debris that are literally fermenting in your mouth. Besides being visually repulsive, this plaque prevents your taste buds from working well and acts as a constant factory of severe bad breath. Not scraping your tongue daily is the same as leaving organic waste to rot in the sun right in the middle of your smell. Number 3. Bleeding gums when flossing. That innocent blood when flossing or brushing your teeth is not normal. It's a cry for help from your body signaling an active infection called gingivitis. The bleeding indicates that your gums are inflamed, swollen, and ulcerated due to the constant attack of acidic bacterial plaque that corrodes the tissue. Ignoring this blood is allowing bacteria to enter your bloodstream, turning your mouth into an open and chronic wound. The smell of old blood mixed with bacterial plaque creates a metallic and repulsive odor that pushes anyone off. Number 4. Black subgingival tartar. When bacterial plaque is not removed, it hardens and turns into tartar, but the real terror is the black tartar that hides below the gum line. It has this dark and frightening color because it absorbs blood and inflammatory fluids, clinging to the root of the tooth like barnacles on a rotten ship's hull. This rocky and contaminated formation pushes the gum down, destroying the aesthetics of your smile and serving as a shielded shelter for bacteria that produce foul-smelling gases. It is the irrefutable visual proof of years of accumulated neglect and lack of professional cleaning. Number 5. Loose teeth. If you feel your teeth wobble slightly when you touch or chew, the stage of just poor hygiene has already passed. You are facing bone destruction from periodontitis. The bacteria have already eaten away the ligament and bone that hold your teeth in place, leaving them loose in a rotten and unstable base. The feeling of having a loose tooth in adulthood brings a primitive and shameful panic, signaling that tooth loss is imminent and irreversible. In addition to mobility, the periodontal pockets that form accumulate pus and debris that are unreachable by a regular toothbrush. Number 6. Sulfur smell when speaking. Some bacteria present in the mouth break down proteins and release volatile sulfur compounds, which have the characteristic and sickening smell of rotten eggs. If you taste something bitter when you speak or notice that people are constantly offering you gum, your breath probably carries this toxic cloud of sulfur. This odor doesn't go away with a simple quick brushing, as it emanates from deep bacterial colonies that are digesting tissues and food debris. It is the chemical and embarrassing signature that something biological is dying inside your oral cavity. Number 7. Exposed and sensitive tooth root. Gum recession leaves the tooth root, which should be protected, exposed to the hostile environment of the mouth, causing sharp sensitivity and shooting pains. Visually, the tooth appears elongated and yellowish at the base, creating an aged and diseased look that compromises the harmony of the face. This exposure happens because the gum tissue has died or receded, fleeing from inflammation and tartar, leaving the nerve vulnerable to any stimulus. In addition to pain with cold water, the porous surface of the root accumulates plaque much faster, accelerating root decay. Number 8. Hidden cavities between teeth. Not all decay is visible to the eye. Interproximal cavities grow silently between the teeth, where the brush doesn't reach and flossing is neglected. The tooth may look white and healthy on the outside, but inside it can be hollow, black, and liquefied by aggressive bacterial action. Often, a person only discovers the severity when the tooth suddenly breaks or the pain becomes unbearable, revealing a cavern of necrotic tissue. The smell that emanates from these hidden cavities is that of decomposed organic matter, a dirty secret kept between your teeth. Number 9. Dental abscesses draining pus into the mouth. The apex of the infection is the abscess, a pressurized pocket of pus that forms at the root of the tooth or in the gum, throbbing with intense pain, facial swelling, and fever. When this pocket bursts or drains into the mouth, you swallow a toxic mixture of dead bacteria, white blood cells, and necrotic tissue. The taste is bitter and repugnant, and the breath becomes unbearable, impregnating the entire environment with the smell of a severe infection. Having pus leaking into your mouth is a critical sign that your body has failed to contain the decay and you need urgent help. Number 10. Mouth breathing. Those who breathe through their mouth, whether sleeping or awake, dry out their saliva, which is the natural detergent and the main immunological defense for teeth and mucous membranes. Without saliva, the mouth becomes a desert conducive to the uncontrolled proliferation of bacteria that love dry, warm, and stagnant environments. The mucosa dries out, flakes, and these dead cells immediately begin to decompose, generating the famous morning breath in a chronic and potent way. The mouth breather lives with chapped lips and heavy breath, often without realizing that the simple act of breathing is sabotaging their hygiene. Number 11. Toothbrush stored uncovered in the bathroom. Leaving your toothbrush exposed on the sink is the same as inviting the invisible filth from the toilet to live on the bristles you put in your mouth. Every time the toilet is flushed with the lid open, a cloud of fecal coliforms is launched into the air and lands directly on your hygiene items. You are effectively brushing your teeth with bacteria from your own waste, reintroducing dangerous pathogens into your oral cavity every morning and night. This disgusting habit turns a cleaning tool into a biological weapon that perpetuates infections and odors. Number 12. Food debris rotting between teeth for days. Feel a little pressure between your teeth? That's food rotting at 37 degrees Celsius inside your mouth. If a piece of meat stuck between your molars for 3 days is removed and smelled, the odor is practically identical to that of a decomposing animal. Allowing food to ferment between your teeth creates a feast for sulfur-producing bacteria, which inflame the gums and create a localized zone of putrefaction. It's not just stuck food, it's active composting happening right next to your tongue, releasing constant waves of stink. Number 13. Geographic or cracked tongue accumulating debris. A fissured or geographic tongue looks like a cracked map, but these deep crevices are perfect hiding places for microscopic dirt. Unlike a smooth tongue, these cracks trap food debris, dead cells, and fungal spores that regular brushing simply cannot reach. These stagnant pits of biological waste ferment undisturbed in the crevices of your own muscle, causing a chronic bad taste and heavy breath that persists even after using mouthwash. It is a physical trap for decay that requires specific cleaning to be neutralized. Number 4. Poorly sanitized prosthetics and dentures. Prosthetics should improve your life, but without extreme care, they become porous sponges for fungal infections like candidiasis and hardened tartar. A poorly cleaned denture develops a characteristic smell of mold and old cheese that permeates the user's breath and fills the room when they speak. Sleeping with them suffocates the palate, creating a dark and moist round for fungi that leave the gums raw and reddish. It is humiliating to have a beautiful artificial smile that smells like moldy bread due to sheer cleaning negligee. Number 15. Xerostomia. Many common medications list dry mouth as a side effect, but few realize that this xerostomia is a shortcut to rampant decay and atrocious breath. 2. Without the constant washing of saliva, your teeth are defenseless against acids, and the soft tissues stick together and get injured. The mouth becomes pasty, making speech difficult and allowing bacterial colonies to explode in population without any natural control. The sensation is like having a mouthful of cotton, while those nearby smell the lack of oxygen stagnating in your breath. Number 16. Ketone breath. A sweet and nauseating smell, reminiscent of overripe fruit or nail polish remover, is a terrifying internal warning sign for uncontrolled diabetes or extreme fasting. This ketone breath doesn't come from the mouth, but from the lungs, signaling that your blood is acidic and your body is consuming its own fat to survive. It is a distinct chemical odor that fills the room and cannot be disguised with mints, as it is exhaled with every breath. It scares people not only because of the smell, but because it instinctively signals a body in metabolic crisis. Number 17. Infections from tongue piercings. That stylish piece of jewelry on the tongue is often a magnet for plaque, tartar, and a reservoir for severe bacterial accumulation. The piercing itself is a tunnel of scar tissue that can trap food debris and pus, leaking fluids that have a distinct taste of metal and decomposition. If the jewelry is not constantly sterilized, it rubs against the teeth, causing fractures and gum recession, while the piercing site becomes a chronic source of low-grade infection. The mixture of a metallic taste with biological secretion creates a repulsive flavor that ruins any kiss. Number 18. Oral cancer. A sore or ulcer that refuses to heal after 2 weeks is not just a nuisance, it's a red alert for oral cancer that corrodes living tissue. These lesions often have necrotic centers that smell like dead flesh, hidden under the tongue or in the back of the throat. Ignoring a painless lump or a white patch can lead to disfiguring surgeries, but the early sign is often a subtle, persistent smell of disease. It is the most terrifying sign on this list because the decay is not just superficial, it is a cellular mutation destroying you from within. Number 9. Acid erosion from sodas. An addiction to sodas and acidic drinks literally dissolves the hard enamel shell of your teeth, leaving them thin, translucent, and incredibly weak. You can see through the edges of your front teeth, which become serrated and chipped like old glass at the slightest impact. This erosion exposes the yellow dentin underneath, making the teeth look perpetually dirty and causing sharp pains with sweets or cold air. It is visual proof that your diet is chemically stripping your smile, microscopic layer by microscopic layer, until no structure is left. Number 20. Bruxism breaking teeth. Grinding your teeth at night puts hundreds of pounds of pressure on your jaw, pulverizing the enamel and cracking molars down to the root. 3. The sound of teeth grinding against each other while you sleep is horrifying, but the result is flat, short stumps that look worn and aged. These microfractures allow bacteria to penetrate deep into the tooth, causing silent abscesses and sensitivity that radiates throughout the head. You are literally chewing your own skeleton into dust while you dream, waking up with a sore jaw and shattered tile. Number 21. Ignoring the dentist for more than a year. If it has been more than 365 days since you sat in the dentist's chair, you are inevitably cultivating hidden tartar and problems you can't yet feel. The calculus builds up in blind spots that no brush can reach, silently pushing the gums away and eating away at bone mass without causing immediate pain. By the time you finally feel that something is wrong, the damage is usually expensive, painful, and extensive, requiring root canals or extractions. Avoiding the dentist is a bet where the house always wins, and the price you pay is the permanent loss of your smile. Conclusion. Your mouth is the gateway to your body, and ignoring these signs is a sentence to social isolation and failed health. Don't let shame stop you from seeking help. Look in the mirror today and face the reality of your hygiene before it's too late and you lose your teeth. If this video has opened your eyes or terrified you enough to go brush your teeth right now, smash the like button and subscribe to save your smile.